Trying out the Condor Golok parang here. Ooh, it's a pretty good chunk there. Very nice, very nice. Let's try the Bushcraft parang. Seems to do pretty good. Kukri. Pretty nice. Not surprising it doesn't do as well as the other two, which are much larger, but it holds its own pretty well. Try my cold steel Kukri machete. Let's try the K-bar grass machete. Same spot before I run out of tree here. Oh. That might be the best one yet. Condor Mini Duku parang. I think that's what it's called, Mini Duku. Very nice. Condor Eco Parang. This is just a smaller version of the Bushcraft parang. Little light for something this size. If you're going to do a lot, like if I had to cut this thing up into a bunch of chunks for firewood. Might be a little light for something this size. Condor Crocodillian machete. I'll just hit it on the same spot here. Definitely a lot better. This thing's pretty heavy though. It's real close to a 1/4 inch thick. But it'll definitely work for this. This here is a 14-inch Tramontina, made in Brazil. Very traditional Latin machete. This does very well. It's a very light machete, but that means you don't get as tired swinging it. This is also going to be best if you have to clear a lot of brush, grass. You don't want a heavy tool for having to clear light vegetation and things. How about a marbles? I don't even remember what they call this thing, but it was really cool. I had to get it. You know, it's a nice light thing, but for a tree this size, again, this is a bit light of a tool for cutting up something like this into firewood. You know, if you only need to make a few cuts on this, like say you were gonna build use it for a ridge line or something like that, that'd be fine. But from previous experience, I can tell you, works really well for, you know, stick this size, you know, bam, cutting up little bits of smaller wood to get your fire going. Does very well for that. Nice little, kind of like a cleaver almost. Just right through it. No problem. So that's the marbles. Yeah, that thing. Oh, I can't remember what they call it, but yeah. Let's try some large knives. This one I've done plenty of footage of, but this here is my K-Bar Becker BK9. I've had this for a while, and so far this is my gold standard as far as a large knife goes. So we'll give it a shot here, just as a kind of a control. As you can see, did really well for a 9-inch blade like this. This is the type of thing this tree is a little bit large for what I would use this knife for. But it will work, you know. Maybe even better than some of the other larger knives I did. Ontario SP8. This is a little, like 1 inch longer blade, A lot heavier because it's a 1/4 inch thick. I tell you what, the weight really helps. Even though the edge is a lot more blunt. BK9 has a thinner blade and a higher grind. This has a pretty low grind, 1/4 inch thickness. It's a little more hatchet-like, but it works. Something heavy like this might be better than the BK9, but again, it is heavy. So this one's brand new. Recently re-released Ontario SP5. 10-inch blade, 1/4 inch thickness, but it's a full flat grind. Much lighter than the SP8. So let's give it a shot here and see how it does. Well, as you can see, not as well. The weight, it's fairly lightweight, and that mass is, the lack of mass is working against it, even though it's got a much thinner edge. So, still, it's actually very light for. Alright, one more just to show off. Cold Steel Special Forces shovel. Just because I'm curious. Oh, wow. I'm gonna say, chops as well as anything. A little bit harder to control, although that might be just that my wrist is sore and tired, but I think it's just the weight and balance. But so it's a little harder to control, but for a shovel, it works very well for chopping. So. Alrighty, so this tree that I've been chopping on blew over or fell over or something. So might as well just kind of get this little stump out of the way and see how well this thing works. Whoops. Pretty good, but because of this tree here, I can't really come at it very well this way. So if I get down low, throw in a little more of the Bushcraft parang. Alrighty, well, the battery died. I'm not sure how much of that last bit you saw, but we chopped through this with the Condor Bushcraft parang. And then I noticed there's a good bit of fat wood in here, so I'm going to use my Opinel number 12 saw. Just tears right through it. Oh yeah. So here's the bit you can see, 1.5 inches thick, 2.5 inches wide. Nothing huge, but went through it pretty quick. Nice little hunk of fat wood there.